Really? That's a foul on Asencio and then a red card. I mean, fuck, football is so soft. I don't understand it. This isn't tennis. It's a contact sport. You're allowed to put your hands on the opponent. Um, Obviously, I've seen it back now. When I first saw it, I thought it was an outrageous decision. I was watching on TNT Sports, and I didn't see a replay of it until right at the end of the game. I now see that there was a slight contact, a slight pull of the shirt. So I see why the referee's given it a little bit more. So I've calmed down a bit, but I don't believe the law was right. You know, by the letter of the law, I can understand a little bit why he's given it. But to me, the law should be changed because obviously just because it's a contact sport doesn't mean you can just go up to someone and push them over, for example. Or if they're running with the ball and you grab their shirt so they can't run anywhere, I get it. But I don't believe what Asencio done impacted Rondon in any way there. Rondon's dived to try and win the foul. He's felt the contact and gone down. Obviously, I'm very aware, being a Madrid fan, the hypocrisy having players like Ramos and Ronaldo playing for us in the past. So I'm not saying we don't do that as well. But this point is more about football in general. To me, you're ruining the game. What fans often will say, why are there so few great defenders anymore compared to 20, 30 years ago? They're not allowed to defend. They can't put their arms out because they'll get given handball. They can't touch anyone because they'll fall over on the floor. It's so difficult to defend now, and I think that's partly why there are so few great defenders now. It's a very difficult position to play in, and to me, you're weakening the sport when you allow these kind of things to be fouls. If you've played football before, for example, if you're on a corner, you're facing up against your defender, or vice versa if you're attacking the corner, and you're pushing each other. You're jostling for position. You're allowed to do that. As fans, we all agree that okay, that if that's outside the area, that's probably getting given a foul. The rules should be the same whether it's inside the area or outside the area. But if you've played football before, you know that you can't allow corners to continue how they are without this kind of pushing involved, right? It's the game, and we accept that as fans. So to me, we should accept physical contact and touches of the shirts and touches. And again, he's slightly gone like that. But that's not impacting Rondon in any way. I feel the same with Rudiger, by the way, at the end. I'm not trying to be hypocritical here. That was never a foul on Rudiger. I think Rudiger generally is quite an honest player. So the Pachuca, I believe, I don't know if I pronounced that well, the defender from Pachuca swung his arm out right at the end of the game, and he slightly caught Rudiger in the eye, it looks like. I'm not sure if there was contact, but I believe Rudiger, so I believe there was. But we all know, if you've ever played football before, that he's never meant to do that by Rudiger. It's a complete accident. Why Rudiger's trying to get a fight going and get him sent off or a penalty, I don't know. And this is the problem I've got. By allowing these kind of rules, you're weakening the game. And if you look at a sport like rugby, I know it's a completely different sport, but generally, it's also a physical sport, though. That's why I've picked rugby. Generally speaking, most fans agree with the refereeing decisions. Obviously, there's some soft calls, but not nearly as much as in football. And every now and again, there is a controversial call in rugby. But I've watched rugby in pubs before, and you walk out of a rugby game and you're generally pretty happy with the refereeing performance. In football, I would say probably 5 to 10 decisions every game are controversial. Fans will argue that this foul should have been given and wasn't given, and vice versa. And this is the problem we've got. When you allow so many soft fouls, you then open up more fouls that can be given. And it's fucking frustrating. I've moved inside because I think there was a lot of traffic going on out there, so hopefully the audio is a bit clearer. Just to finish my point then, about 15 minutes later, Rondon was played through, and he done the exact same thing. It was a lot worse of a shirt pull than what Asencio done. He didn't even get a yellow card for it, so the inconsistencies are the problem that I've got. This is not, by the way, to let Asencio get off the hook. He was out of play he was out of position, for the play that led to him getting sent off. I do have sympathy with him because, as I've said, I don't think it was a red card. But this isn't the first time he's done something like this. Of course, against Arsenal in the Champions League, I've made this known in previous videos. I'm a little bit sceptical of his level. I think at the moment I see him more of like a Nacho than a Ramos. When he first came on the scene, everyone thought he was going to be the new Ramos. I'm also not going to go in too hard on him as well. It's pre-season. He's very young. I think he will learn. I think last season he made such a great impact. I mean, the performance he had against Liverpool at Anfield was special. So I think there's a talent there. But I think he got mentally fatigued towards the end of the season. I think he He played a lot more football than he expected to. So I think next season, not having to play so much, not having to be almost our go-to centre back, I think that will help him. I think he can relax a little bit more, and I think he'll learn off of playing with Huijsen, for example. He still has a lot of positives. He's very composed on the ball. He's got a great passing range. So I'm not worried about Asencio, but I'm also he needs to improve for sure. That there's his concentration. He makes too many lapses of concentration where he just seems to switch off, or he's relaxed on the ball, which is fantastic, but sometimes he's too relaxed in his defending as well, and this is the problem I've got. And also aerially as well, he gets beat in the air too much. So let's talk about the game then. The lineup was almost identical to the lineup against Al Hilal, apart from Gula started and Rodrigo was on the bench. Very happy with the lineup, although I'm going to sound like a broken record, although I think no one watches these videos again. I've got no fucking subscribers, so I can say the same thing again and again and no one will notice. I didn't want Valverde to start. I definitely didn't want him to play 90 minutes. Both those things happened. He needs a break, but he's played so much football recently. I just hope he doesn't get injured. But apart from that, very happy with the lineup and great performance. I think it was the 7th minute we got that red card, so to play the majority of the game with 10 men was fantastic. Vinny looked much better back to his old self. He did one annoying thing where he waved an imaginary yellow card, which always frustrates me, but he seemed happy. He did some great tricks. He was a constant threat, made good decisions with his passing. Very happy. Huijsen, what a player. I mean, so calm. So many times he gets the ball and there doesn't look to be any options. And he just waits for an option to appear. And he made a great pass at the end of the first half. It was like a chip ball over to, I think it was Gula, I believe, and we almost scored from it. What a player. 50 mil, an absolute steal. We got to see Gula play maybe for the first time really as a proper centre midfielder throughout that game. He was pretty deep at times. He looked so comfortable. Very excited to see what Gula's going to give us next season. Bellingham's going to be out for the next 2 to 3 months, I believe, because he's going for soldier surgery. So what an opportunity he's got. And I've got a video coming out soon about Bellingham and why I think he's being played in the wrong position and we're kind of wasting his talents a bit. And the first goal kind of maybe proved my point. I don't know. If anyone wants to watch that video, you can let me know. But he's such a goal threat, and hopefully he can get back to that. He needs to be played closer to the goal because he's probably one of the best finishers we've got on the team. Beautiful finish from the first goal. The second goal was my favourite goal. Garcia, I mean, lovely touch to Gula. This kid, I don't think the club's got the budget to go out and get a striker this summer. Give the kid a chance. I mean, I made a video a few weeks ago asking Xabi Alonso to give an opportunity. He's given him opportunity so far, and he's repaying us. He doesn't look world class. I'm not going to get carried away. He might not even have much of a career at Real Madrid. Who knows? But no Castilla player has ever scored more goals in one season than Garcia. I don't know what more he needs to do to get given that opportunity. So I hope he gets called up for the first team next season. And yeah, as for the game, I mean, we dominated, I would say. I mean, I'm not going to get carried away because Pachuca, I think they're pronounced, they weren't great. The opponents weren't great. They didn't press very well. I think they went to 5 at the back in the second half. I don't know why they did that. Yeah, there's much tougher competition to come, but we responded very well. We didn't lose our calm. We still managed to dominate possession. In the second half, we made quite a few changes. Brahim came on for Garcia. Modric made an appearance with Ceballos. I thought Ceballos looked very good as well, by the way. He keeps the ball great. I hope he gets more opportunities next season. If we don't sign another midfielder, it's a big season for Ceballos, I think. He's the only real controller of tempo that we have in the team. Great to see Rudiger back. I don't know what happened there at the end with the Pachuca defender there. There was a fight. Rudiger seemed pretty pissed off. He just came back from surgery and he's already trying to get into fights, so glad to see he's not changed, I suppose. But what an important player he's going to be next season. And interestingly, there was some periods in the second half where we seemed to play a back 5. Tchouaméni, Rudiger and Huijsen were the 3 defenders, and Valverde kind of slipped into the right wing-back role. Could we see more of that? That could be a formation that really suits Tchouaméni going into next season. So, interesting developments on that. Yeah, not much more to say other than very good performance from Gula. Very impressed with Gonzalo Garcia so far. Well done, Xavi, on his first victory. And Asencio. Come on, you got a bit smarter than this. It's not the first time this has happened. You made this mistakes against Arsenal. You made this mistakes against I forget the other opponent that he done. He gave a stupid penalty away against, but he needs to improve his game in this way. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I've got a video coming out on Bellingham soon. See you in the next video.